All right, everyone. Thank you very much for coming. I'm seeing about 100 person to the AMA channel. Thank you very much. We'll now start our first AMA in 2023. Well, to start off, 2022 was a year with a lot of things went on. There were a lot of things both inside the game and outside the game in the markets that was happening in 2022. A lot of things that we started and also a lot of improvements and fixes that was going on. So remember back 1 year ago, we didn't even had Loka, and now we had a lot of things happen. And in the later part of 2022, we have identified a lot of issues in our game that we have focused to solve and improve. Some of them were had some improvements. Some of them are still a work in progress. But we believe that as spending a time in the crypto market and crypto winter and actual winner, we think it is the best time to build our game and spend our time to really build, make progress, fixes, and also bring new contents. So in today's AMA, we're going to start off with talking about going over the CVC. There are a lot of issues that we want to address, and we want to share how are the patches went, how are the updates are, and what will be in the future for the CVC. And after that, we're going to introduce you with the new contents that will be coming in the earlier part of 2023. So, and between this AMA, we're gonna open the AMA questions channel for the live question. It will have 2 times for the question time. And for those questions, we're gonna pick some of the questions that you guys share in the AMA question channel. And among the questions that we chose, we're gonna pick the winners to give out the special reward. Special reward will be shared at the around the end of the AMA, so stay tuned, and let's get into the work. All right, so first and foremost, we are very deeply sorry about the condition of the game. We hope to see more improvements in the earlier part of the CVC, but it went really hard, really bad, and we spent a lot of time in fixing and making updates. But before that, it is our responsibility to give our condolences and also say sorry for the users that have spent time and money and your energies in our game. So to solve basically the issue of the lag started with the 23rd, when the Christmas event has actually kicked off. We had a Halloween event and also some Lucky Day events back during the CVC, but it was during the rookie league of CVC, and it was actually the first time that we did the Major League CVC with the Christmas event. And well, as you know, it didn't went as we intended. So one thing that we wanted to share is that because of the event and the CVC going on together, there were a lot of lag that has been spiking, and the lag itself actually aggravated the lag itself. It was like making things worse and worse and worse by itself. The reason why it happened is because when there was a lag, there is a logical system of sending the data packets to request for data and like shoot the data to the database or the server. And during the lag, it kind of looped on itself and creating more requests, more of the data transmissions, making the lag more extremely difficult and went very abnormal in its status. We actually compared it to the previous CVCs. It was, in general, the earlier part of the CVC was kind of better than the before, but actually this last week of when the whole lag situation happened, it was way worse than what we have seen before. And our dev team has been working like 24/7, basically on checking where these errors are coming from, solving the issues and all that. I'm going to go over the details on what was going on. So first and foremost, in terms of the hardware, we've definitely had to expand it further to accommodate all the lag and requests from the server. Few things were that we have basically, there are few different parts of the server that operates in different ways. One are the combat server that deals with the battle reserves. One are the server that deals with the metadata, and there are a few others that covers each part of the game. And the biggest lag that happened was definitely the battle part, but the battle calculation and the battle reserve coming in late. And that for that part, we have expanded the server size of the combat server, and also along with the other servers as well, to accommodate more requests from the server to operate. Also, there were a few parts of the server that was not working 100%. So during the end of the week 3, we have identified those problems, and they resetted the servers to operate it back to normal. But well, as you know, it still had needed more expansion afterwards. Because of thanks to the expansion of the server, we are expecting the troop movements and training not addressing correctly when the training was done, or the battle calculation parts. This increase in the server capacity will have more impact on that part of the game. Also, there were a lot of abnormal activity in the network traffic transmission. There were a lot of spikes that was going real high even compared to the other previous cases of our game. So we have increased the bandwidth for the traffic and this part of the update is to address the issues with the game clients not responding correctly when there are a lot of multiple support armies in the objects like the gates or the fortress. And also there were big issues in the battle tab, the alliance page battle tab, where it gets out of memory, or it was getting really slow, or it's just not showing enough data. We have identified the two part of the problems in terms of the battles tab. One is that the packet itself was abnormally got bigger in terms of the size, so that by transmitting those data packet, it created the lag itself. And also there were situations when there was a lot of lag and a lot of requests that was hanging behind. Each request start to send out the request repeatedly by itself, creating more lag and more pressure on the server. And that's one of the reasons why there were like out of memory issues coming out for the battle tab. But for these issues, we have updated a lot of beside the hardware update that we mentioned previously. We did a lot of logical changes to make it more efficient, more optimized to processing the packets and its size. We're going to also looking into some possible updates on the packet structure itself to reduce any unnecessary data, to make it more efficient, more smooth. Also, we are working on changing the UI UX of the battle tab. Recently, about 2-3 weeks ago, we have updated the battle tab to have these different categories that you can turn on and off. We have identified that some of the types of the reports are not assigned in the correct categories, and that's making it difficult for the battle tab to operate as intended. So we're gonna change those types to be assigned to a correct categories. Also, we are thinking of reducing some of the reports that are not really important to the users to be reduced or removed from the battle tab, so that it shows more necessary and important data. Also, we are thinking of we are working on expanding the categories into more subcategories, because right now the continent part of the category holds almost all of the CVC related parts, and that's quite a lot of thing going on in that single category. So if possible, we want to spread it and like split it to a separate part so that it can show, it can kind of have a diversification and differentiation in which part of the reports to show and not to show. So these updates are the ones that we are planning and we are planning for the battle tab. We are also gonna listen to some of the feedbacks about the battle tabs to check on what kind of reports that you want to see, what kind of reports that you don't want to see, or what kind of reports that you want to like have it split in the different separate category. In terms of logic also, in terms of the logical part of the server and the optimization, we have identified there are part of the logics that is creating more pressure in the database itself. So, and also there were a lot of stuck in the data transmission between the database and the server and the client side. So we have partly patched on the parts, especially related to the battle, that is really significant during the CBC to mitigate some of the issues. We are still working on some other parts and looking into some other parts that we want to improve more. This part of the update will also improve the condition of the troops getting stuck or the teleport not applying correctly or applying right away. In terms of this logical parts, as I mentioned earlier, this last week of CBC's lag situation was quite unprecedented. It was really heavy compared to the previous CBCs, and because of that, it has actually exposed some of the weaknesses in the logic that we have had that was not that distinctive in the previous CBCs. And so we have made a big list of things to work on to improve and fixes on these weaknesses, and hopefully have some better version of this of the logic parts to operate. And there will be a lot of patches going on to have some live fixes and also optimization on this part of the performance issue. Lastly, we did added some of the gameplay related patch to mitigate the lag system-wise. First and foremost is the change in the individual's attack to have at least 3,000 troops, because we have seen some people spamming one troops continuously to create lag or basically blocking the battle tab to see. We did the similar patch before about the objects like the gates and the fortresses, and this time it was about the individual soldiers. We are also opening to increase the limit to maybe 10K if that kind of fits in the situation inside the CBC. So we're going to keep looking on that. Also, there are a few things that we are planning to change. One is definitely about the shielding issue of the objectives, that when the shield is on, and then the result of the calculation goes in later and the ownership kind of flips to the other side. We are working on a way to kind of bypass this problems to have some sort of like calculation period before the object to get shielded, and we'll see how it goes. It's a bit of a possible game change is expected from this, so we are looking into cautiously looking into what kind of things can happen to it, and also if there will be any other better way to solve the situation. But more importantly, what we are planning on to basically solve the issues with the shield flipping, the troop stock, and troop duplication is basically reworking the battle logic itself. This has been in discussion for quite a few months. It's starting from quite a few months ago. We've kind of started with the small updates to change how the logic works, and there were a few things that we kind of encountered in preparing for this update. One is that basically when changing the battle logic, touches basically everything about the game. About it touches the research, it touches the troop and its stats, it touches the monsters. So it was actually quite a huge update that we planned, and we thought that we cannot stay with this current logic because of some of the flaws that we all know. And if we are to change it, we have to really change it deep and thoroughly to make it really work and have some coordination with other parts of the game itself. So, how we are going to change the battle logic is, one thing is that we will have the battles to be more sequential. Basically, first and foremost, we're going to make the battle much more faster compared to the current calculation. And secondly, we're going to make it more sequential. And by doing so, we are thinking of adding a graphical indicator that how the battle is went. Because when you throw the troops into the object to fight, it just like calculates and just the result pops up, changing the sides, showing who's dead or not. But if the update goes on as we intended, we want to have a indicator like a hit point box that shows which side is actually winning on that combat, and overall combats that are queued in line. And yeah, so there will be a lot of big changes for these battle logic, and we want to deliver it before the next major CVC starts. So that's about later part of the February. The next Major League CVC is planned on February 27th, as I believe. So before that, we want to update this patch before the Major League CVC starts. We might have a time to test it before the CVC, and if we don't have the time, we might have to delay CVC. I don't know how it went, but we're going to keep communicate on the progress of this update. Okay, and there's a few other kind of miscellaneous updates that are waiting for the CVC as well. One is that we are looking into some ways to structure the Rookie League so that we can include more continents who are waiting in line, because there are a lot of continents that has king that will have to wait for like years to be in the CVC. So we are looking into some of the ways to include them in the Rookie League. I will share it more in detail when I have some more research on how we're gonna do it. And also we have seen some of the things like giving more king have kind of a ability to have some timeout for the members inside the CVC. We are considering that as well, and also some other possible patches that the community requests are in the queue, and we are looking into those as well. Now, let's talk about the compensation for the lag situation that we had this CVC. It was obviously one of the most worst lag that we have experienced before. So for the CVC participants of the Major League CVC, we're going to send you three advanced teleports, 50 1-hour troop training speed ups, and 2,000 crystals. So it will be sent out to all the CVC participants. And also, we have heard a lot of requests about extending the Christmas event. We couldn't do it right away because of the possible lag that it can create onto the last weekend. So we had to close it, and we will gonna reopen the Christmas event starting from Wednesday for 3 days, so that you guys can spend time. If you haven't finished the Christmas events, you can go back and continue on collecting those Christmas ornaments and get the skin. So these are the compensation plans that we have prepared. And that's about it for the lag issues. Okay, so now we're gonna take about a 5-minute break, where we're gonna receive your questions in the AMA questions channel. I'm gonna open it right now. Just give me 1 sec. And in that channel, please share your questions for 5 minutes. And after the break, we come back. We're gonna choose the good questions from it and we can answer your question and then move on to the second part of the AMA. All right, so let's meet you at 2:28. Thank you. Oh, and two things. One is share your wallets. So, and the question if possible, so that we can, when we pick the winners, we can just like copy the wallets. Or after we pick up the winners, the questioners, we're gonna ask you to send us a wallet later on. So, either way, feel free to do so. And also, keep the questions about the lag situation, about the CVC and all that, about the low-cost staking, about the monster invasion. That's not about you. We're gonna have a separate live question time for those as well. So, yep. All right, everyone. We just closed the question channel. There's a lot of questions about I see a lot of questions about the Drago, about the coming new updates. So I'm gonna hold those questions to later, because we're gonna talk a lot about the we're gonna talk about the things that will address a lot of questions about the Drago, about the new contents. So we'll have about 2 more minutes to pick the questions and then come back. Okay, give me 1 more minute. I'm almost there. Right, I'm back. Okay, it's kind of takes a lot more than I expected to read through all the good questions there. As I said, a lot of questions about Dragos and other future contents. We're gonna have time to introduce about them and then come back to share it. Now, the first question is from the Killa Hill. When is the minor league going to happen, and is there a plan to introduce a new content to CVC at a faster rate? So, great. So minor league is planned to start in 2 weeks. So that's I think 16th of January. We are working on a way to have more continents inside the Rookie League. Basically, minor league. Sorry, I thought it was Rookie. So Rookie League is gonna start at 16th. I think it's waiting for 2 more or 4 more continents to drop to the minor league to get started. But we are planning on expanding the Rookie League to have more kings. Right now, the next CVC will have new continent participating to 36. So 35 and 36 continent will join in the Rookie League this time. And currently, I think we have king up to 45th continent. So there's about like 10 continents or more, 45th or 48. About 10 or more continents actually waiting to participate in the Rookie League. So we are trying to expand the Rookie League to have more of them to come into the game and have them chance to actually fill the game. Few problems are basically related about the going up, about the rank going up to the league, going down to the minor league, because if we have like 2 Rookie Leagues going on at the same time, we might have to like drop too many of them, or a bit of a balance issue in terms of the going up and down about of the rankings. So kind of looking into a few possible options about it, but we are thinking we're expecting it to happen faster, and hopefully my plan is to have it before this Rookie League. But if we couldn't make it, we will have it on the next Rookie League. We will be talking about this issue internally with our dev team soon. So if there's any progress, I will share it to the mods, and so that they can share it to the community as well. Okay, the next question is from Sweat Squad. When is this troop duplication gonna end? As you have already mentioned, it is solved, and many people recall to fill new troops and they get banned in the name of the duplication. So troop duplication is basically the way it works is that it is a series of bugs that kind of end in the same of troops getting duplicated. So in the previous two CVCs, three CVCs, we have blocked the possibility of having the troop duplication on the resource nodes, on the monsters, and also there was cases with the gate. They're using the gates and also using the support to other kingdoms of your alliances or the others. So there were a lot of different cases of bugs that resulted in the troop duplication, and we kind of blocked each cases and possible cases as well. But in this time, there were a few different cases. One is that when the calculation gets too long and in an extended period of time, it kind of causes it to miscalculate in the battle wizard that ended up in the troop duplication. And there was a few other cases that happens during the gate attack as well. So we are looking into those to block it. But fundamentally, what we're planning to do, fundamentally, the cause of the troop duplication for this CVC was because of the lag. And what we're planning to do is actually have that battle logic update to get implemented. And we are going to build a system so that we can minimize the possibility of miscalculation or prolonged calculation that can cause errors, so that the troop duplication is gonna not gonna happen in this new battle calculation logic. Of course, there are possibilities that there can be new errors or new bugs because of the new system, but I think it is more important to address a lot of issues that we are currently have, and it is important to really update the battle logic in general so that it gets more smooth in calculation in its functions. Okay, and the next question is from Rakasm. Players this day continue to simply jumping from Major League to Rookie to build accounts, then go to new continents to take advantage of crystal mines and metals, and return to Major League. So basically stop jumping back and forth between the continents. So for this, we are thinking of two big changes. One is actually the local staking on the continents. We're going to go in detail about it afterward. So the other part is that we kind of feel the issue that there are a bit of a discomfort in the migration limit and reward sending and all that. So we are actually thinking of reworking the structure so that it gets more smoother in moving in, moving out, or how we're going to deal with this kind of issue. So we will definitely address. We are aware of this inconvenience in the system, and we hope to find some better way to solve this problem in the coming updates. Okay, the next question is from Gangster NJ. There is a lot of players who has max account. Any new plans for them? Because newborn players can't develop himself. We are boring from every time hunting same monsters and same events in CVC in general. Any new ideas to build new game with new look? Any ideas to change, allocate background music? Okay. So, few things. There will be more expansions in the kingdoms level and the maybe potentially VIP level, and also the tier of the troops maybe. So there are some plans on expanding it, but we are waiting until we get more fixed detail about it before we share it. And also there are a bit of new contents coming in. So that's actually, I'm talking about the monster invasion. So we're going to talk about it in real soon. Okay, and also we're kind of in testing out the idea of expanding the project to have more uses of the Loka and the Drago and the land and the NFTs that we have, the Loka that we have, the players to utilize those value, to expand those value of those NFTs and Loka to have a expanded experience and also increase their value of it. So something will coming up in this year, and hope really excited to share it. Hope to share it to you sooner. Also, thank you for the idea about the background music. I actually haven't thought about it, but it's quite interesting. So I'll definitely share it to the team. And last question is from Brajo Empire. Is it possible to give more power to the king in CVC and continents? Also, the title have power to give alchemist and architect. Okay, so first of all, we are kind of thinking of giving some power for the king to have some kind of timeout for the users in the CVC, because there has been a bit of a kind of, I think I heard a bit of issue regarding like blackout or blacklist user, wanting to blacklist the user, or the users being trolling and all that. So we are thinking of idea of getting some kind of power for the king for this. And also about the alchemist and architect. So basically we're going to give the queen to assign the titles such as alchemist and architect, because we had a lot of requests from the user that king giving out the alchemist and architect is just like taking so much of their time. So queen will now going to have this ability to give out the titles, and this update will come in I think Thursday. Yeah, so real soon. Okay, a bit of a few other questions that I just happened to catch my eye. One is about the exchanging the items that are stacked already, like the alliance medals or some of the treasure PCs. We are planning on the event, as we actually announced it quite earlier, but we are planning on the event to exchange those excessive items to something else. At the later part of the 2022, we wanted to focus more on the fixing the issues rather than those. So it was a bit delayed, but that's still on the list, and it's and I'll catch up with the development teams about the progress of it and when it will be implemented in the game. And also, I'm keep getting this question about like 2 million Lucas and like 3 wallets about the council vault and all that. So basically, in the council vault there are like 3 wallets, and also a wallet that governs the Binance Pay, the revenues coming in from the Binance Pay. So I think the one who was looking into those wallets missed out the Binance Pay one, and that's where the 2 million Lucas are. And also someone asked about why there's like multiple wallets, why the needs. And basically the reason why we have multiple wallets is to have the revenues and resources organized. We have a lot of different revenue sources, and also we are on a lot of different chains as well, like Ethereum, Polygon, and different others. So no, I didn't, not different others, but it's basically Ethereum and Polygon. So we have very different revenue sources coming into our game. There's also like an exchange fee from the markets and all that stuff, and we just can't have one wallet to mix everything up and organize. We needed more wallet for it, and if needed, there's a possibility of opening the new wallets. When that happened, it will definitely go into the white paper. So yeah, Binance Pay wallet address, I will check about it and share it to you. Okay, so that's the 5 questions that we have picked so far, and now we will have a 1-minute break and come back to the new updates coming in for 2023. Okay, we're back now for time for the new updates. Now, let me just check. Okay, so first and foremost, in today's AMA, we're going to introduce you basically 3.5 kind of updates. 1 is the monster invasion, 2 is the Loka staking on the continent, and 3 is definitely about the release date of Drago and a big event coming in. Now let's start from the monster invasion. So let me share you some of the images for it. Bam. So Monster Invasion is coming to League of Kingdoms. It has been like introduced quite a few months ago, but quite long ago. But now it's finally coming into the game. And first and foremost, so let's start with the Monster Fortress, the fortress that you see on the left corner. The Monster Invasion is all about Monster Fortress and defending from the monster. When the Monster Invasion event starts, we're gonna have 256 Monster Fortresses spawn in the random location of the continents that pretty much covers most of the sections of the LOK continents. And the Monster Invasion event will go on for a few days. We're thinking of roughly about 3 days. And from any Monster Fortresses, you can initiate the Monster Invasion. And when the Monster Invasion event starts, the Alliance members within a square of 400 times 400 kilometers around the Monster Fortress will participate in the event. The Monster Invasion event is basically an alliance-related event. The alliances will gather their strengths to defend from the monsters and compete for the ranking within the continent. So there will be 3 difficulties to choose from: normal, difficult, normal, easy, normal, and difficult. And you can choose any of them and initiate it. Within the event period of 3 days, Alliance can start it once, so you want to time it correctly to have as much as your members to get involved. So it will have 15 waves of attacks, and each members will defend against the monsters until basically they cannot win against the waves. And at the end of the event, all the best wave that each member's got, we're gonna add up and multiply it by the difficulty variable, and that will give you the final alliance score. After the event is over, basically after the wave defense is over, the alliances will receive the event reward. And when the overall 3-day of event is over, each alliances have their ranking within their continent, and they will get a reward based on the ranking within the continent as well. You can only participate once in the Monster Invasion event, either your alliance or kingdom. So even if you switch the alliance, you still cannot join it if you already did it. And a few other rules are that only the alliance leader can initiate the Monster Invasion. And also, if a single Monster Fortress is used by an alliance, other alliance cannot initiate another invasion on the same Monster Fortress for 4 hours. So in that case, you can either wait for 4 hours or find another Monster Fortress to start the event. At the beginning of every Monster Invasion event, the Monster Fortresses locations will be randomized, and you can pick it whenever you want. So this event is actually coming very soon. So we'll start the first round of the test run on the continent first to basically check on the possible lag and situations. We don't want to rush it. So yeah, it's coming in this Thursday. So that will be January 5th, UTC 0000. And when everything runs smoothly, we're gonna open it to the other continents as well. And also, we are planning to have this Monster Invasion event activate only during the CVC CVC recess period, so that we can avoid the CVC and avoid the possible lag. All right, so that's coming in to you soon. And the next update is about the local staking on the continent. Let me share you some of the images for this one. Okay, so we'll have this Basically, ignore the numbers. It's just the numbers for the test purposes. So basically, we'll have a portal that has a Loca staking page inside our homepage, where you can stake the Locas on on each continent that you want. So basically, the images shows the individuals page and the wait a second. Yeah, individuals page and the continents page of the. Let me just share it one by one so that you can have it bigger. The image is so small. Anyway, okay. So basically, how it works, it's not about the yield farming. It's not gonna do any. It's not related to any of those. It's basically about giving you the in-game benefits and rewards depending on the local stake in the continents. So this update, okay, and based on the amount of the local stake in your continent, you will have increase or decrease in the resource regeneration, metal regeneration, basically everything about it. The reason why we are adding this update is basically two parts. One is because of a lot of servers with very few real people activating in these servers. As you know, there are a few continents that has really no people in it, and just like bots spammed in it and just like farming resource crazy. So with this update goes on, unless they stake the Loca for it, they won't get much from farming resources in the empty continents. And also two is day of update will be coming soon. Also two is that there are a lot of servers that has really populated because of having a lot of people coming into the continent, and those are actually the strong continents with a lot of potentials. However, because of the lot of users, sometimes they actually have much harder time finding resource nodes and all that. So for those continents, if you guys stake Loca more, there will be a lot more resources regenerating, more metals, more crystals. So basically everything will be more plentiful, so that for those servers with a lot more people, we'll also have some way to get it buffed. Okay, let's start with the date. The update will go on the second week of January, which is 9th, starting 9th to 13th. I'm not exactly sure on exact date, but that's the plan. So it's basically go on before the Rookie League starts, and I'm gonna address this one more time later on. Also, there's a few little things that you can enjoy about this update. Is that one is you can actually leave a comment when you do the staking. So basically, there will be a ranking of who staked the Loca on your continent, and there will be comments. You can say whatever you want. You can shout out your nickname. You can shout out your continent name, or you can just like troll and do some stupid things. And also, there will be update on the world menu, world menu where you basically see all the continents. In that menu, we're gonna display two additional information. One is the tier based on the staked amount of Loca, and two is which continent is going to the next CVC. So basically, if you are let's say you're a continent 35, if this update goes live, you have like a Rookie League starting in 14 days, like that. So that when you plan on your migrations, you can actually choose which continent that you want to go. Basically, we hope this staking becomes one of the indicator to decide on the migration and to make choices and also show off your strengths. And also we want this to help us in mitigating the bot impact in terms of resource farming. Amount of Loca that is staked, decided right now is basically it's kind of depending on the market situation. We're going to start with this set of amount of LOCA and this amount of the bonuses for the resource regeneration. But depending on the market prices of the LOCA and various other variables, we are open to adjust the amount of LOCA to stake. And also in this staking system, you are not like forced to stake for like extended period. You can just like put it in, put it out, all that. But to get the in-game bonuses for the continent, you would want to have that in there. But it will not gonna force you to like keep it forever. You'll be able to pull it out whenever you want. The more detail about this update on the LOCA continent staking will be announced in a Medium post that will be revealed when the update goes live. And one more thing about the about the LOCA staking is that we are planning on having the CVC reward tied to the LOCA staking. So you will have to be in a certain tier so that you can receive LOCA vouchers in the CVC. It's strictly on the LOCA voucher. Any other in-game rewards will be sent just like as usual. I know this is too early to introduce it right away, so we will be waiting for about 2 weeks before the next major CVC starts, and then do another update to enable that feature later on. So you have to, it's about time you have to choose the continent that you're gonna stay, and let's see how it goes. Now, last but not least is Drago. So, yeah, let's start from the basic, fundamental announcement. Drago launch date will be March 31st. This will be right after the next Major League CVC goes on. And yeah, in terms of the progress of the network and that, basically we're basically down to 2 big chains that we want to stick to. Right now, because of the NDA issues, we cannot reveal which chain it is, but we are basically working on paperwork to finalize the decision and go on to the update. And I know it's a long wait, right? So to ease your pain in waiting for the Drago contents to launch, we are gonna have a Drago giveaway event, the Drago mystery box giveaway event, and it will gonna start from January 2nd and will be live till the February 15th. And now we have Paul here. He's gonna introduce you about all the details about the Drago mystery box event. Let's go.
Hey, what's up? Hi, kings and queens. This is Paul, aka Dita Paul from the League of Kingdoms. Happy New Year's again, and feel great to start the 2023, having time to chat with you guys. So every day spent with our locers is full of fun, joy, blessing of new things. Hope you guys may your wishes come true 2023. Okay, with that said, LOK is starting off 2023 with a huge 50k giveaway, total supply of 1,000 Drago mystery boxes. As the box named as Drago mystery box, the boxes are consisted of legendary Drago NFTs, approximately more than 100 of them collected, Drago Egg NFT, land NFTs up to level 6 and 1 and 2, skin NFTs, package NFTs. The details for this event will be posted on the Medium after this AMA, so please do share them to your friends and locers who missed this AMA. Okay, moving on. So the Drago mystery box giveaway event will be launching today, as Jay mentioned, with over 30 partners from 2nd of January to 15th of Feb. The event will be all social events leveraging Clip and Gleam for 3 consecutive days per each partners. We'll be collecting all the wallets, and the Drago Mystery Box NFT will be sent through at the end of each event. The ones who haven't won any boxes will hopefully be able to purchase them on the marketplace for 2 more weeks. And finally, on the 1st of March, the winners will be able to reveal the Drago Mystery Box on the provided Roulette land page later on. We'll be sharing the events. Yes. So, like, if you guys are familiar with our Loka Day event, where we burnt the Drago sticker NFTs and converted them to a ticket, would understand that what I'm referring to. And the land page will be provided very soon. This is our first time giving out Dragos, as you guys know, and also, yeah, definitely the land level 6s, and hope this would give our LOK players a little consolation for the delay of our Drago content launch with our utility token TST. Yeah, so this is pretty much it on my side, and we'll have 5-minute break to collect some questions related not only with this Drago Mystery Box giveaway, but including the staking on land and the monster invasion. Thank you all, and see you in 5. Peace.
All right, we are back. Just give me 1 sec to share the questions to Paul as well. Okay, so let's start with the. Oh, okay. Let's start with Don Crone's questions.
Yep.
So how does CVC reward percent work, and what happens to stake Loka when Loka price goes up or down? So basically, when you pass a certain threshold, I think it's tier 3 in the image or something like that, you get all the Loka rewards, and below that it's just like none. But we are definitely open to see how it works. Basically, this is something that we are trying out new, so we want to see how things go, and definitely adjust it if needed. And also, if Loka price goes up or down, that's also one of the variables that we will consider in raising or decreasing the threshold. Basically, if currently Loka is not that expensive right now, so that's why it's quite high in the threshold. But when it goes up, then we'll definitely lower the bar of the tiers. The next question is from DJ Nami. How useful is the Loka token in the new update of Drago? So basically, Loka will be used for the Drago breeding, essentially, and many other parts will use DSA. So that's basically the answer about it. The next question is Dermavenger. From Dermavenger, the new updates about Loka staking and the part where free-to-play players earn, and also will have continents with less players have hard time even if they stake the Loka rewards. So, well, first thing about the Loka reward and the CVC reward is that basically the reward will only apply to the Loka vouchers, and all other individual alliance continent and rewards like crystals or boxes will be given as normal. So even if you don't stake any Loka to your continent, you will still have something getting out from participating in the CVC. And for the free-to-play players, we personally think that CVC is actually a bit higher than free-to-play level, because it's for the more advanced players. And when the Drago content comes out, this Drago will be a vehicle for another source of earning potentials for the users. So there will be CVC with the Loka staking, and the Drago with DSA farming and all the related stuff. So there are two sides of 2 tracks of burning potentials will be live in this game. This both will apply around the later part of the Q1, but we'll definitely see through how it works and how it operates. And our main focus is about the resource generation buffs and debuffs and all that. So that is the more essential part of this update. And we will definitely see how it goes about the CVC rewards part. So that is the reason why we are having 2 months of delay between the updates, so that we can see how it goes and check it and make some decisions based on that. Next question is from Silver Sager. Will monster invasion call death to troops? So yeah, this is something that I forgot to mention. Basically, your troops' rate of getting injured will be 1/10 of the regular fight. So basically, only the 10% of the injured that should have happened will be actually injured, and any troops that pass the limit of your hospital will actually get killed. But because of the 10%, basically 90% reduction of mortality rate or the injury rate will ease some of the time for your hospital to stack up. Basically, you can choose the difficulty to start with. The hard difficulty, as far as I know, is quite difficult. So you might want to try with some lower difficulty to gauge your powers of your alliances. But it's up to your alliances, and we'll see how it goes. And also, you also share the question about can we stake the Loka vouchers, and it's not. You have to change it to Loka and then stake it. It's just like it has to go in on the chain, so it just has to go into the chain by exchanging it into Loka. The next question is from Pay4400. Can we rent our Drago to others instead of selling the Dragos completely? And yes, you can. Basically, the rental system will go live as the Drago update itself. There are multiple ways of users can benefit from it. One is individual renting. You can just like give rent out to someone else, and they can just like use your Drago, and so you can split the rewards, DSA rewards from them. You can also join in some of the guilds. There are a lot of partner guilds that we are coordinating with. Those guilds can rent out the Drago to you if you want to use the Drago, but without any upfront cost. That is another option. And also there's a way that you can actually rent your Drago to those guilds, so that the guilds can operate it in their operations. So that's also another possibility that we are looking into. And when you set up the rental offer in our web page that will be coming, you can decide on like how much split that you're gonna want, and it will have a fixed time, I believe, or I can't really remember for sure, but I think it had a fixed time of how long you're gonna rent out the Drago, and whenever the user collect the DSA, it will gonna automatically split into 2 into your accounts, so that you can just like share the rewards from the rentals. So basically, those were the questions that we saw. Yep, and I think that's about it. We are also waiting. So, in terms of the update, let's go over the update timing for once and for all. So this Thursday will be Monster Invasion. There will be a Medium post revealing about the Monster Invasion rules and some narrative of it. And next week, on the 2nd week of January, we are planning on launching the Loka staking on the continents. It will not have the CVC Loka reward parts on this update. That update will go on live around the end of February. And the Drago release, we are expecting it to come on March 31st. And to ease the pain waiting for it, we're gonna have the mystery box events going on live for 1.5 months starting from today. So that's the timeline for the coming updates. We hope to share more updates, new contents, and several fixes and improvements. Please check out the Substacks as well. I share a lot of fixes and updates and some small updates and fixes in there, so it's a good place to dig in. And thank you very much for coming in. We saw about like 290 people joined in today. It's one of the highest number that we had, I think. Well, there was a lot happening in 2022. It was a lot of like ups and downs, but in 2023 we want to make this another refreshment for the LOCA and the League of Kingdoms. We're going to work on a lot of logical update, about a lot of optimization improvements. There will be new contents updates coming in. There will be Drago releasing, and at the later part of 23 there will be a lot more coming in for LOK, LOCA, and our NFTs, and many more for the community. So I know it has been not an easy journey. It will not be, but we will stick to it, and we're going to continue it onward, and let's make it work. And by the way, we've been slowing down the AMA on 2022 because of focusing on the fixes, not on the updates. But as there will be a lot of more updates coming in this year, we will have more AMA delivered to you. So yeah, let's make it work. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming in, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.